All right, we're going to go over questions 11 through 20. Ready?
Yes. No.
You're ready. Okay. Simplify the expression below. And yeah, you had no calculators. It didn't kill you. So think of your process. What would be the first step in solving this particular expression? Malia? Yeah, make 2 3/4 into an improper fraction. What is it as an improper fraction? All right. 2 times 4 plus 3. You have 11 plus 4. And then minus 15 over 8. And that stays in parentheses. And we're still multiplying that by negative 16. Okay, so you're at adding 2 fractions. And there was a disagreement in one of the groups over this in regards to what the denominator needed to be. It really doesn't matter as long as it's a multiple of 4 and 8, but the smaller your number, the better. Contrail. There you go. 4 and 8, our lowest common denominator is going to be that 8. So Contrail says multiply that first fraction by the 2's. Oh, wait, that should be an 8. And then we have 15 over 8. And we're still multiplying by negative 16. Okay, so solving the problem inside the parentheses, Trip, what do you get?
You get negative 112.
22/8 minus 15/8 is
7.
22 minus 15. Okay, so we're left with 7/8. And we're multiplying that by negative 16 over 1. Where are we now, Russell?
Negative 112 over 8.
Okay, we multiply across the top. Negative 112 over 8. And heaven forbid we remember how to divide. So if we go 112 and we divide that by 8, how many times is 8 going to 11? Once. So we subtract the 8. You got your 3. Bring down your 2. 8 to 32. 4 times. Subtract 32. You zero out. And you end up with a final answer of how much?
Negative 14.
Negative 14.
We're so smart.
See, you are so good at remembering how to do the math.
I forgot how to do that. I just simplified it.
Well, that is simplifying it, but good. Yeah. All right.
How'd you get that?
Okay, so if we go back to this one, negative 112 is the numerator. The bottom has to do 8 times 1 to give you 8. So you have to simplify the negative 112 over 8.
Okay.
I think you lost your numerator. You could have, and it would have made it a whole lot simpler. Number 12. Which 2 situations involve opposite quantities to make 0? Now, hold up. You have a question on the previous one?
I got negative 112.
All right, so let's go back to number 12.
Do I need to go for the cheer?
Yeah, if you're supposed to go, go. All right, I want to know the addition problems to each of these. Let's test your remembrance of your positive and negative words. What addition problem is being represented by A? Watch your positives and your negatives. Lakia?
Okay, 3 plus negative 6.
3 plus negative 6. Very good. All right, how about B? Burning of calories. Be careful with that word. Ollie.
Negative 350 plus negative 350.
Good. Negative 350 plus negative 350. All right, what is the addition problem for C? AK.
60 plus negative 60.
60 plus negative 60. Very good. All right, D. Will.
2 plus negative 2.
2 plus negative 2.
2 plus 2. What does that equal?
4.
And what is the problem for part E? Yes, ma'am.
16 plus positive 16 plus positive 4.
Positive 16 plus positive 4. And we're looking for the ones that have opposite quantities to give you 0, Corey.
C and D.
C and D. Very good. All right. Let's go to number 13. We have the results from a random sample of 150 students. So that's probably pertinent information to know that your sample is 150. And it's regarding their after-school activities. It lists your soccer, basketball, and swimming. We want to know the statement that is true. So with all statistics questions, I really do want you guys working on getting rid of what's wrong. Like literally prove it and disprove it. If we didn't learn anything from question 4 yesterday, some of them will mess you up. All right, A says their favorite activity is basketball.
Nope.
JC, why is it not basketball?
Because there's 4 more students who like. I'm gonna throw it.
He's joking.
I'm gonna let you
JC,
He's
don't make me
dying.
come back there.
You're a girl.
Y'all's parents are going to love listening to this class.
You.
Anybody wants to know, that was Will and JC.
It was.
It was.
It
Okay,
was.
so obviously we know A is wrong because of obvious reasons that soccer has more people. All right, B, 45% of the students prefer soccer. How would we prove that?
Don't look at that. Go to the other
Yeah.
questions. Go to the other questions.
We'll go to the other questions in a minute. But B does need to be proven or disproven, and whether you have a calculator or not, know how to do it. Because if you don't know how to do it, you can't use the calculator anyway. Okay, how would you set up your proportion?
What?
She brought up making a proportion for part B. Because it does involve percents, and that would be a really good idea. I'm going to go to Lucy this time.
I don't know for sure, but I think I might know. So you do. This is probably gonna be really wrong. Okay, so you do 68 over 150.
All right, so 68 out of 150. And are you wanting to find the percent to prove it? It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So what would be on the other side if I'm looking for the percent?
X over 100.
X over 100.
That's all I know how to do.
But that's perfect because if this comes out to be 45 or very, very, very close to 45, this could probably be an answer. And that's what we're wanting to do. So you would cross multiply, and this does get you to be about 45%.
Can I do the rest of the questions?
All right, okay, you want to do the rest of the
Thank you
questions?
so much. So basically, no, because the 23 is not even close to 150, and that would not be half. And I hope
Okay,
I have the
so
right answer.
how would you find half of 150?
First of all, well, there are multiple ways. There are multiple ways in which you do it. But I would divide it.
Yeah, I would divide it by 2 as well.
With a calculator, though.
Oh, with a calculator, because
yeah.
you don't know that 150 divided by 2 is 75.
I just said 45.
Okay, and how about D? You already proved that C is wrong.
So basically, students prefer swimming over soccer, which is not because soccer is 68 students. I'm going to select. You just basically know that it's
Good.
very easy.
I mean, 23 to 68. 23 is obviously not bigger than 68.
Actually, I think it's.
You are good.
I am so
All right, let's go to 14. Hannah has deposited $230 in her bank account. Then she withdrew $73 from her account to pay a bill. This is a miswording. I want an expression to represent the changes in Hannah's account. The equations have to have equal signs. I don't want an equal sign. Addie.
Positive 230 plus negative 73.
Okay, positive 230 plus negative 73 would be a correct answer. What is a second expression that would work? Ollie?
Could you just do 230 minus 73?
Exactly. 230 minus 73. Both of those are correct answers. Both of them would work. All right, question 15. Again, it's split up onto 2 slides for you on the bottom. Your tables are on the left, and your statements are on the next slide. With statistics, as we saw with question 4, read everything. Some of it is just going to be silly, as the question we just did about the sports, and some of it will be a little more difficult with little differences that we need to look at. The table is showing the scores of a flexibility test. By visually looking at it, what can you tell me? Look here, give me something you can tell me just by looking at these numbers.
I can tell you that the female has more greater scores than the male.
Okay, so if the girls have higher scores, what do you know that's going to tell you?
Or they have a greater mean.
It's going to have the higher mean. The males will have the lower mean. Looking at those numbers, you can tell me that. Okay, so let's jump to the questions that it goes with. If you look at A, the females are generally more flexible than the males because the female scores have a higher mean than the male scores. Right off the bat, we see that's a true statement. But let's just check everything else to make sure we didn't miss something. B, the females in the sample are generally more flexible than the males because the female scores have a lower median score than the males. So if we look at the median, what's the median for the girls? It is 85. What is the median for the boys?
65.
Ooh, it's not 60. It's right between 55 and 65. So B says the girls have a lower median. Is girls' median lower?
No.
Definitely not. All right, C and D, we already know A is the answer. But I do want you to look at C and D, because C and D have some wording that if we pay attention to this wording, we're going to be able to eliminate answers. All right, on C, it says that the samples varies less because it has a larger interquartile range. What do we know about variability and range and their adjectives? It's on the board. Just use that whole English word, adjective. Oh my goodness.
Based on the data.
If we look up here on variability and consistency, if we vary less, we have to have a what type of range?
Lesser.
We have to have that smaller range. Well, this question's saying that it varies less, but it has a larger IQR. Those words have to match. Yeah, the thing is, those words have to match when we're talking about variability. They don't match. If I look at D, the sample varies less because the male scores have a larger range. Can the male scores vary less if their range is larger?
No.
No. Those have to be the same describing words. All right, let's go to 16. We want two sampling methods that produce unbiased representative samples of the population. Unbiased is a good sample. That means our sample is going to be random and it's going to represent the customers. So focus in on your customers. Which two answer choices? Keep seeing the same people.
Not me. I ain't answered none. I do.
Yeah, you do. Ashton, I haven't heard from you today.
What did I know?
A and D.
A and D. Okay, why would B not be a good sample? Why is B a not good sample, okay?
Oh, thank you for calling on me. So basically, it would not be a good sample because it says all of its customers, because that's the whole population.
Yeah, they surveyed all of it.
So it's not a sample.
Yeah, it's not really a sample. But it's also using whatever gets returned. That's not really the great method. Contrail, why would C be a bad sample?
Because it says it runs off a commercial applicant for free connect.
Yeah, that's called bribery. Yeah, we're not going to bribe people. I mean, if you bribe people, Contrail, are they normally going to agree or disagree with you?
Agree.
Yeah, they're going to agree with you, and Will brought the word up. This makes it... It makes it biased. Very good. What about E? Surveying the employees at the company. Kia?
It doesn't say to survey the employees. It says survey the customers.
Correct. It says we want to survey the customers, not the employees. That's not what our word. It's not representative. Very good. All right, 17, another one that involved you to math without a calculator. On this question, something could have been simply written, which would have made your problem a little bit simpler. Russell?
Change the fraction to a decimal.
Oh, I would have left it as a fraction, but I would have done something to that fraction. Contrail?
So what you gotta do is you gotta put a 3/4.
Yeah, 3/4. If, those rare days Miss Long's being mean, like today, and making you work without a calculator, why not make your numbers easier? Contrail said 6/8 is the same thing as 3/4. I agree.
And 0.75.
And we're going to multiply it by -20/1. So if we follow what is in parentheses, let's do the parentheses section first. What is 3/4 times -20/4? Ollie.
Is it -60/4?
It's -60/4, which becomes what? -15, but yes. So our problem has reduced all the way down to 225 divided by -15. Now, who knows what 225 divided by -15 is? -15. Very good. Y'all doubt yourselves sometimes. All right, let's go to 18. Which model represents -5 plus 2? On these number lines, remember something. The first number in your problem is the bottom arrow. The second number is the top arrow. People do mix them up, and it's telling you direction. The first number, move 5 places to the left. The second number, move 2 places to the right. Corey? Which arrow? Which number line?
G.
G is perfect. You done good. All right, number 19. If I'm asking you for things that combine to make 0, what am I asking you for?
The opposite.
Opposites, or what's the other big word? Additive inverses. Good.
Adjective.
The adjectives. Okay, so you're looking for the inverse, the additive inverse, or the opposites. What's the first one, JC?
Okay, let's go with +18.
Thank you. The second one, Russell.
-32.
-32. The third one, Emma. +22. And the last one, Jaslyn. -14. Perfect. And the last one we're going to do today, because we'll leave the last 7 for Monday. box plots. And we're looking for the true statement between the box plots. Let's look back at this one. We know they're overlapping. Now, if I shade in where they're overlapping, this is the whole area they're overlapping. Is that a lot of it or not a lot of it?
Not all.
That's not a lot?
That's a lot. It's a lot, but it's full.
Okay, it may not be full, but is it a good amount?
Yeah.
Okay, so is there much of a difference in their data?
No.
No. And all 4 of these statements bring up the same word. What is it?
Overlap.
Overlap.
Gotta say lack.
Okay. The first 2 say that there's a lack of overlap. The second 2 say there is a significant overlap.
The first two wrong.
Why are the first 2 wrong?
Because they overlap it.
Because they're overlapping? Yeah, they share a lot of the same numbers. So we know the first 2 are wrong. Now you've got to decide between C and D. Is it significant overlap because there's not a meaningful difference, or because there is a meaningful difference? Is there a difference in the data?
There is a difference. but it's not like that.
It has a
That's
higher
not
meaning.
that.
Very much
and a
yes.
higher.
Okay, time out. So when we look in here, there's not a meaningful difference in their data. Their graphs are almost on top of each other.
I get it.
Make sense? It's kind of a weird word. All right, we're picking up with 21 through 27 on Monday.
I thought you were about to say that.
Yeah, no, not right now. You get a Friday and get to go home. Woohoo!
Nope.